So in Shakespeare's play, and Shakespeare mythologizes history, apologies to all the historians among you, he mythologizes history, and as Joseph Campbell said, a myth is something that never was but always is. So Shakespeare mythologizes history in order to get to greater human truths than the historical particular specific situation could give. In this one, he mythologizes an ancient Rome, pretty close to the mark, but not exactly, in which there is a huge pyramid of power in ancient Rome. At the bottom of the pyramid are the plebeians, or the citizens, who have minimal, if no voting rights, although they are nominally in a republic. They do get some chance to vote in the people, the tribunes, the kind of lower management government levels. The tribunes get some say in voting in the senators, the 100 people who run the country, and the senators vote their cabinet, which was known at that time as the triumvirate. And the triumvirate were the 3 people at the top who really kind of set the agenda for the Senate. Now, prior to the play, there has been a fallout. 2 big, powerful people in the triumvirate, Julius Caesar and Pompey the Great, Pompeius Maximus, this is what he called himself, so no small ego there, have fallen out, raised armies, gone off and have been fighting a civil war. Julius Caesar has triumphed in the Civil War, and he has won the popular support of the Senate, and the triumvirate had one little kind of clause in their constitution that allowed them, in times of crisis, to elect one of them as a temporary dictator. So Caesar's been elected as a temporary dictator, and he's now coming back from his victorious triumph over Pompey the Great in the Civil War. Now, the rumor on the street is that Caesar quite fancies this dictator job and wouldn't mind holding on to it even after the crisis has ended. So there is now another kind of factional split in the Senate, all the way down to the citizens. Do we want Caesar to keep the top job as dictator or emperor, or do we want to go back to the more democratic republic? And opinion is very much split about this. But that's the political background to the play. In scene 1, we see 2 tribunes, Marullus and Flavius, who have been told that Caesar is marching back into the city. And there was one other rule, which was that all citizens were supposed to disarm themselves at the city gates. Pretty good rule, really. But Caesar has disobeyed this, and he's getting all his legionnaires to march straight in up to the forum. So he's making a little bit of a statement about his military might. So the tribunes have been told they've got to watch the streets, because the danger is that all the apprentices and all the citizens start coming out to see this great march through the city and take a spontaneous holiday, which of course they immediately do. So everyone takes off work and runs down to the streets to cheer Caesar in. Their job is to get them back to work. It's a tough job. Citizens are there, beer in one hand, pie in the other. This sounds fine to me. And they're railing at them, but they're not going. Eventually they think, well, they're trying to turn this whole thing into a carnival. The only thing we can do, they're decorating all Caesar's statues around the city as if it was a public holiday. We can take these garlands and scarves down. Say, let no images be hung with trophies. These growing feathers in Caesar's wings must be plucked to make him fly an ordinary pitch. Who else would fly above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness? So the tribunes, the view from middle management is that he has the potential to be a bullying dictator or a tyrant, and they fear it. That's the kind of information we get in the first scene.